Hello YouTube. This week I've got the keys to a 2018 Toyota CHR. Let's take a look. So this is the 2018 CHR, and I believe that stands for Compact High Rider. So it's basically what it is. It's a compact car, hatchback, with kind of a jacked up suspension. It comes with 17-inch wheels standard. This is the premium package with 18-inch wheels. And it's got a bunch of other features like blind spot monitoring, auto high beams, lane departure warning. So all the kind of electronics and safety electronics they have these days. It's pretty small little car. It's powered by a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine, 144 horsepower, so not a ton of power. It actually goes pretty good because it's made it to a CVT transmission, so it kind of makes it a lot smoother. Those CVTs are getting a lot better every kind of generation they come out. This is also available. You can get. I asked the dealer what's the deal with this. Some of them have a different color roof. You've seen them around. They have like a white roof with a blue car, or a red car with a white roof. That's just a package you can add to get that. I don't know how much it costs, $500 or $1,000. Anyways, I would recommend not getting the white roof. It looks ridiculous. So, besides that, this one color silver looks pretty good actually. I don't like the car in the darker colors. I think it looks pretty good in the silver color though. A lot of plastic cladding though. If you don't like that, then you won't like it that much, I guess. But if you get it in black, you may not notice as much. So it's not a bad looking car. It is not really an SUV. It's just a little bit higher than a compact car. The trunk is actually quite spacious. For a small vehicle, this is quite a big trunk. You can see back here, it's got a pretty big tire in the back here. It's not a full-size spare. It is a skinny kind of donut, but it's still a pretty big tire. And there's still some space underneath here for some other things if you need that. There's also down here, you got some tie-down locations on the bottom here, and you've got some hooks here and that. We'll go around the side. I'll show you that these seats fold down. The door handle up here is kind of odd. I don't know why they decided to go with that. And it is a very small opening for the door handle, the back door here. But your seats do fold down 60-40. Or actually, yeah, so 60-40, but this does not fold down. I thought this folded down as well, but it does not. It's almost flat. It's actually just a little bit higher in the trunk here, so it is almost flat. There's side airbags here. I'll get in here, you'll see. This is in my driving position, and there's quite a bit of room here. I got my legs under here. It's no problem. I got tons of knee room. I'm really surprised at how much room there is in the back of this thing. As you can see in the front, it looks pretty nice. It's very modern looking and stylish. In the back there's not much. There's no map pockets. There's a cup holder, your door handle, tiny little windows. So if you get claustrophobic, you might be like, wow, these windows are pretty small. There's no sunroof in this. This is the loaded model. There's no sunroof available. You've got, I don't know what these are, these kind of little sculpted designs on the roof. They kind of look neat, but I'm not sure what it's doing. Maybe it's for a sound deadening or something. This is kind of like a faux carbon fiber trim here. It looks okay. But the front does look pretty good, so let's move along to the front. Alright, so up front here, you've got a 7-inch screen with your infotainment in here. It's not your climate control or anything like that. Your climate control is all down here. It's dual zone climate, automatic climate control with heated seats, so 3-way heated seats, driver and passenger. This here, you've got your settings for your audio, your phone, your Bluetooth. There's some vehicle stuff in here too. This is just, they use the same radio for different models, so you can pick which model of car this is. Basic stuff in here. There's not very much in here actually. We'll go over to audio. Oops, media, I guess. So that's radio here. And you can pick your source. As soon as that Bluetooth device connection failed, it goes away. Pick your source, AM, FM, or your Bluetooth audio. It's pretty basic, but you know, it works well. What's really is kind of odd about this car is that if you've got this nice 7-inch display and then you put it in reverse, and where's the backup camera? It's not there. It's actually here in the mirror. So I know they've done this on some of the low-end cars that don't have the big display, but this comes standard with this display, so I find it a little bit odd that they still put it in the mirror there. Now, it does work pretty well. It's nice, and it is super bright, and it really, you know, it overpowers the mirror, the actual mirror, so pretty good. So you do see it really well, and you can still use both. Your eyes can kind of focus between both, so it does work. I just like the bigger screen, that's all. In the rest of the interior, you know, there's not too much here, but we'll go through it. There's a cup holder up here and a cup holder down here. And you've got your armrest here. This is kind of like a rubbery material. It's kind of sticky rubbery. And you've got a little bit of storage space in here and a 12-volt power outlet. Parking brake, which automatically goes on. And you've also got an auto hold feature, and then the traction control on and off. And in here there's kind of like a little cubby down here. It's not very big, and then you've got space. There's a USB and an auxiliary port down there as well. So onto the dash, you've got your engine start stop over here. Try to get in there with the camera. There we go. And then you've got your, you know, speedo, fuel, and tack on the left, and your temp gauge. On your steering wheel, you've got these controls for the center display. So you've got drive modes. You got sport, normal, and eco. And then you can kind of flip through this display. A bunch of stuff. Fuel economy, averaging 7.9 liters per 100 kilometers, which it was actually 7.8 until I've been sitting here idling doing this video. You know, you see your fuel economy, your average fuel economy. You can get a digital speedo readout in there as well, and your distance to empty. And there's also a G monitor, they call it, so that'll show you your G's, accelerating, decelerating, and turning. I'm not quite sure what the point of that is. Driver assist, so this is a little coffee cup. I'm not sure if the camera's picking up. It's pretty dull here, but there's a coffee cup there. It'll brighten up whenever it tells you you should take a rest. You know, there's other information here, your lane departure and messages. If you got messages, your blind spot monitoring on and off, collision detection, lane departure settings. So a bunch of stuff in there. You've got your radio, your Bluetooth controls here, your radio controls. Typical Toyota and Lexus, you've got this stock down here for your cruise control. Love that. Every single Toyota or Lexus I get into, I don't have to think. I know that it's on and set, and then resume and cancel. Like, it's really easy. I think it's the best in the industry. You've got your automatic headlights over here, and on the left hand side there's an automatic brights button, high beams. So if you turn that on and then you turn your high beams on, you just forget about it and they'll just work in the dark as you need them. On the left hand side you've got auto down for all 4 windows, and auto up, which is really nice to have. And you've got your power mirrors here as well. And you can also fold in those mirrors, which is a pretty high-end feature, actually. So that's not too bad. Now, I'm not sure if I mentioned the price, actually. So I think I did, but if I didn't, it's $28,000 with all the things you see here. That's with the PDI and freight and you know, the premium package before taxes. So depending on which province you're in, that's going to depend what taxes you pay on top of that. But that should be pretty much what you're paying for this exact vehicle. If you go for the base model, which is $24,000 plus PDI and freight, to be like $26,000. So $26,000 you get into this car. There's not much else in here to talk about. You've got some. You've got a light that turns on automatically with the mirrors on both sides, and you've got your lights here, and then the light to turn the lights on if the doors are open and that. You know, this is all kind of like a, I don't know if it's leather. It looks like leather, but it feels like rubber. All this kind of stuff, and this, you know, kind of black piano black trim is nice looking. So let's take it for a drive, and you'll see what it's like on the roads. It's actually pretty impressive. So if you put your foot in it, it's got that typical CVT kind of whine, kind of sounds like a cow. But if you don't, you know, if you don't drive it like that aggressively, my wife's been driving it for a bit. She loves this thing. She says it's so smooth. And I guess if you're not, she doesn't drive very fast or aggressively, so if you drive it kind of normal, I guess would be the way you'd be driving. With the CVT transmission, it barely gets over 3,000 RPM, so you really never hear the engine, and it is really smooth. The other thing that's smooth about this is the suspension. It really soaks up the bumps really well. For a small car with a short wheelbase, it rides really plush, actually. Around town, easy to park, easy to see out of, surprisingly, even with the shape it is. Actually, really impressed by this thing. I thought it looked goofy when I saw it on the road, other people driving it. Looked kind of goofy, especially with that different colored roof line. So again, don't buy the one with the different colored roof line. It looks weird, and I think you'll regret it in a few years. But besides that, I don't know. This car is a lot better than I thought it would be. So if we accelerate kind of normally, it gets up to about 3,500 RPM, and then it shifts. There's not really shifting, but it's adjusting the CVT transmission. There is a little bit of road noise and a tiny bit of wind noise I'm hearing around the pillars here. This is, again, this is a compact car with not a ton of insulation or anything. With only 140 horsepower, they have to keep the weight down a little bit, and it's not a super expensive car either, right? So it is what it is in terms of quietness and noise, but it's not by any means it's not loud or intrusive. Just if you drive a high-end car like a BMW or Lexus or an Audi or something, like I do quite often, then this will seem a little bit loud, but compared to other compact cars or compact crossovers, it's pretty darn good. Well, there you have it. 2018 Toyota CHR. Actually, pretty impressed by it. Nice little car, and kind of compact crossover. It is only front-wheel drive. Again, $28,000, powered by a 4-cylinder, 2-liter engine and a CVT transmission. Not available in all-wheel drive. It's quite roomy inside. Drives quite smoothly, and surprisingly, even though with the crazy kind of sloped rear hatch styling, has pretty good visibility for a modern car anyways. Backing up, maybe not so much, but of course you do have that backup camera, which compensates for it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to my channel.